Sometimes the silence in the house feels too loud. I watch my wife at dinner. She's telling our son something, smiling, nodding, but her gaze is distant. We haven't argued, laughed, or asked each other real questions in a long time. Everything seems right. Work, family, familiar evenings. But inside, I feel like I'm living on autopilot, as if something important slipped away long ago and I never noticed when. Lately, I keep catching myself thinking, what if we're both just playing roles? That evening, I happened to see her quickly hide her phone when I walked into the room. A small thing, but for some reason, it wouldn't let me go. I tried to convince myself it was nothing. Maybe a colleague, a friend, anyone. But with each passing day, that small thing grew inside me like a splinter I couldn't pull out. I started noticing details I'd ignored before. How she'd go into another room with her phone more often, how she lingered in the shower, how she sometimes smiled at something only she knew, not noticing me. I didn't ask. Not because I didn't want to know, but because I was afraid of the answer. It was as if we'd both silently agreed not to talk. She didn't ask me questions. I didn't ask her. At some point, I started checking her phone when she was asleep. I felt pathetic, but I couldn't stop. The messages were deleted, the call history was empty. That only made my anxiety worse. I became irritable, snapped at my son, at work. She pretended not to notice. Sometimes I caught her looking at me, with something new, something distant in her eyes. More and more, I felt like a stranger in my own life, as if I was watching someone else's family. It wasn't a question that settled things, but an accident. That evening, I came home earlier than usual. A meeting was canceled, and I decided not to let her know. I had a strange feeling, like something was about to happen. When I pulled up to the house, I saw her car in the driveway, even though she'd said she'd be late at work. The door was unlocked. I walked down the hallway and heard voices from the living room. A man's laughter, her quiet reply. I froze, then stepped forward. In the living room, she was sitting on the couch next to a man I only knew from her stories, her colleague, Michael. They weren't holding hands, but there was something between them you couldn't mistake for anything else. She jumped up when she saw me. You're early. Her voice trembled. I looked at her, then at him. Is it him? I asked, not recognizing my own voice. She was silent, then nodded. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen, she started, but I cut her off. How long has this been going on? Michael stood up, mumbled something, getting ready to leave, but I ignored him. How long? I repeated. A few months, she said quietly, not meeting my eyes. I felt everything inside me collapse. Why? I asked, though I didn't even know what I wanted to hear. I don't know. Everything felt empty. I tried. I never wanted to hurt you. She was crying, but I didn't care. I started yelling, accusing her, bringing up everything that had built up over the years. She tried to explain, begged for forgiveness, said it was a mistake, that it would end. But I wasn't listening anymore. At some point, I just walked out of the house, slamming the door behind me. It was cold outside, and I suddenly realized I didn't feel anything. Not pain, not anger, just emptiness. I don't know what happens next. Maybe I'll be able to forgive. Or maybe this is the end.